Hey guys, we're gonna be doing
Ooh yeah, we are back. Time for a part 2 that I should have done a long time ago. Let me see exactly how long it's been. 2 weeks. That's quite some time. Let's give this another go. Before I actually begin with my own ideas, I do have someone that did actually comment some things, and I want to go over that real quick. Now, like I said in the last one, I don't play a lot of the other characters enough to really know on my own ideas and such, but I know enough to understand some of these. So the first one is for Penny Parker. Cyber Snare could be made slower, but holds the opponent longer. I think what they mean is it either has a longer cooldown or it takes some time to charge it once you activate the ability, but it can hold the opponent longer. Let's say it has like a slightly longer cooldown, but it snares them for about like 3 seconds at least, or maybe 2 seconds. Either way, I think that's what they meant. Here's another one for Penny Parker here. Great Web. Penny's nest increases in range, but only holds 8 mines and can do knockback. So the range is bigger and has less mines in total, but they can also do knockback. I don't know about the knockback. I don't think I can really think of things that would be actually useful, but it's definitely funny to just get bounced around. I feel like if it's gonna do knockback, it should do less damage too. It definitely sounds niche, but I think it'll be pretty funny. The next one is for Captain America. His shield acts directly like Moon Knight's crescent darts, bouncing off all enemies in a radius that the shield was thrown, but has a longer cooldown. So when you throw a shield, it bounces to every single enemy that's in range. Doesn't it already do that though? Alright, this one is for Hulk. Leap now does AoE damage after landing and immobilizes for 3 seconds. I don't know about the immobilizing. I think instead it should do Earthbound, where it's like Namor's ultimate or the Thing's abilities, where it just prevents you from using movement-based abilities. I think that's what it should be instead. Immobilizing for 3 whole seconds, that's like equivalent of an ultimate. That's a bit too much if you ask me. The next one is for Thor. Rune King. Awakening Rune does 95 projectile damage and 20 field damage, but only gives 130 over health and lasts for 3 seconds. I think there could be a little bit more done with that. How about this? Okay, how about this? So how much damage does Awakening Rune actually do? Okay, so Awakening Rune will just be a switch into a mode. It will still cost 3 of those hammer things to switch to Awakening Rune, but it lasts indefinitely. However, it deals half damage, maybe 45 damage per hit, and it does 5 spell field damage. So it's basically an indefinite mode you can switch to. You still need 3, and when you switch back, you have to refill those again to switch into them. But it's a different it's an alternate mode you can switch to. It's basically swapping a weapon. I think that's what it could do instead. Because this doesn't really seem something that can warrant being a talent or a perk. The next one is for Magneto. Mag Cannon deals explosive damage upon impact, but it can only be used with 3 rings. Okay, that one I do know. That's the one where it applies knockback, and you can use it as long as you have one of those rings. But for this one, it requires 3 rings and can do explosive damage, which I think is a very interesting idea. How about also it no longer does knockback, and it just does explosive damage instead of just knockback. Just replace the knockback entirely. This one is for his shield ability. Metallic Curtain now is shot out and can push enemies back. Oh, okay. So, okay, I see what you mean. So so in terms of you shoot it out and it can push, and it's basically pushing back enemies. I think that's interesting. Okay, this last one from Magneto I'm re-recording because I misinterpreted what it was at first. So Meteor M, which is his ultimate ability, applies a slow effect on anybody within its radius, you know, while he's gathering damage in the air. I thought it was at first like when you hit somebody, and I thought that was weird, but I misinterpreted it. So I'm re-recording. So basically, anyone that comes into its radius or out of its radius, and it does reference, it can be like similar to Invisible Woman's ultimate ability, but it has a reduced amount of damage it can consume. So basically, it has the maximum of 800 damage it can consume before it just completely breaks and stops the ultimate. It would go down to about 500. So it's easier to break it, and you would probably do less damage when you fire it, but enemies within its radius will be slowed down. It's a really niche, but I think it's pretty cool though. I think it's a pretty neat idea. The last one from this comment is not a tank actually. It's for Rocket. Bombard mode now deals explosive damage, but ammo has been reduced to 25, so pretty similar to the Punisher's turret, where it has explosive ammo. I think that's interesting. BRB, which is the beacon, now only produces 3 healing orbs at the same rate as it did for armor packs and rocket boosts. So basically, instead of armor packs in the jet boost, it drops healing orbs. Let's say each of them does about like 50 healing. I think that's fair. That's a very good idea though. That is a very good idea though. And that's pretty much it for that one. Those are very nice. I like those. Those are really nice. All right. Now here is what we got for GFU. The first one, talent number 1. Jeff's Joyful Splash can now deal damage to enemies at 75 per second, but does 50% less healing. Again, if that sounds like a lot of damage to you, that's the equivalent of Cloak's damage, just so you know. It sounds like a lot, so you know, like a more offensive options for Jiffy Jew. It's pretty straightforward. Talent number 2, Proactive Bubbles. Jeff's healing bubbles no longer heals or provides a healing boost, but the movement boost is increased to 100%, and enemies can now also activate the bubbles, giving them 50% slowness. More utility. Very, very interesting utility. I think this could be really funny. Again, it's pretty straightforward. The ones I have for Jeff are pretty straightforward right now. There's not really much to them. Talent number 3, High Tides. It's Jeff, his ultimate ability, no longer eats allies or enemies, but instead gives allies within a major boost in healing, about 50%, and enemies a healing reduction, about 50%. And the cast time is 50%, so the indicator that shows it's 50% faster. That's pretty much it. Again, it's the ones I have for Jeff here are pretty straightforward. They're pretty simple. Jeff's a pretty simple character. I think these are still like something that's pretty interesting and really fun. Like, you know, kind of changes how you would use some of his abilities and such. You know, the usual. All right, so what we got next is...
I am ready to put on a show!
Talent number 1, Freezing Blast. Absolute Zero no longer freezes enemies in place, but slows them down by 20%. And when the effect ends, or when they're killed while it is active, they release an icy blast, damaging enemies within 6 meters, dealing about 35 damage, and slows them down by half of the initial slowdown, so 10%. Kind of an overhaul about how the that ability works, but you know, it's also kind of straightforward if you really think about it. I think it'd be pretty interesting to, you know, in a lot of cases. Talent number 2, Trios. This one is share the stage can be placed on 2 allies, but the shared healing is 25% less effective. This is actually pretty similar to another character in Paladins, where a character can put a mark on a teammate, and when they heal someone else, that marked teammate also gets a portion of that healing, and he has a talent where he can put it on 2 allies instead. But it does less healing. So this is actually inspired by that. The last one, talent number 3, Empathy. Whenever you activate Cryo Heart, allies within 8 meters also receive the same healing over time, but at 75% effectiveness. If you don't know what that is, that's her passive. When you use her abilities, she gets a healing over time effect on herself. So with this talent, she could also give it to allies that are close by, but it's less effective on them. That's pretty much it. All right, well, next up.
Disappear!
Is it kind of obvious that I'm speeding running through these? Because I kind of just like, I kind of am kind of speeding running through this now that I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry. Talent number 1, Blind Spot. While invisible, your move speed is increased to 35% and taking damage only reviews you for 1 second. Attacking or using abilities still reviews you for the normal duration, or the normal duration to go back into invisibility. So, you know, it's more just like making being invisible something that you can use as a better getaway tool, but it's not too much, not too less. I honestly kind of thought that she should always have at least a slight movement increase when you're invisible. I don't know, I played too much Sombra. Talent number 2, Shields Up. Invisible Boundary, her ultimate ability, no longer makes anyone inside invisible to enemies outside, but now works as a giant shield, blocking damage or healing from the outside or inside for enemies. It now lasts 12 seconds and its healing is reduced by 250%. That's a very specific number and I'll get to why. So if I remember correctly, her ultimate ability does 160 healing per second while active. That's a lot. So 250%, I don't even remember. This one is actually based on just like the fact that like she says shields up when an ally invisible woman uses it, but like it's not even a shield. So, and I honestly thought it was going to be used as a shield considering her whole thing is shields. So, you know, this kind of just reworks her ultimate ability in a way. I think it's a pretty interesting idea. Talent number 3, Force Healing. Psionic Vortex and Force Physics no longer damages or causes movement disruption, but heals allies. Psionic Vortex heals allies within by 55 per second, and Force Psionic gives a burst healing of 200. All around, just complete full-on healing. Nothing else. That's pretty much it. Let's move on.
We are undefeatable!
I should really play Mantis more. Talent number 1, Slumber Party. Goofy fucking name, why did I write that? Spore Slumber effective radius is increased by 25% and can affect multiple enemies, but its duration is reduced to 0.5 seconds and does no damage. If you didn't know, it does a little bit of damage, but that doesn't really, it's not really a lot to really matter. Yeah, it's weird, but I think it can have its uses. I'm sure someone can figure it out. Talent number 2, Unnatural Rage. Natural Anger self-healing is increased by 50% and the damage boost is increased to 40%, but her base damage is reduced by 25%. Its duration is fixed at 4 seconds and has a 5-second cooldown. So here's the thing. Yes, the base damage boost is 40%. But her base damage is reduced by 25%. So realistically, you're getting 15% boost instead of like, I don't even remember what it was. I'm sure I put a thing up it showing what it actually is. It's a really weird thing. It's really weird. I don't think anyone should ever really care. I kind of just like, fuck it. We're just gonna make up shit now. Talent number 3, the Right Tool. Allied Inspirations effect now depends on the allied role. Vanguards receive a 50% damage reduction and immune to CCs for 1 second after being applied. Duelists still get the normal damage boost and also have a faster firing speed for 2 seconds after being applied. Strategists are given a 25% increase to their healing output and a 25% increase in movement speed for 3 seconds after being applied. I think this one is probably the best I've come up with for this character. I think it's very, very cool and interesting. I may be biased. And lastly,
this is real firepower!
Rocket talent number 1, Reinforcements. BRB, again, the beacon, now works as a teleporter. Place it down for the first time will grant you the ability to place it again in a different location. Once placed, it creates a waypoint with a 5-second cooldown for each use. Its cooldown is reduced to 30 seconds and its health is increased to 300 and it heals itself over time with a 5-second delay. So after taking damage, it takes 5 seconds to actually start regenerating, and it probably, I would say, like probably regenerates like 10 health per second. Yeah, I know. This is basically the idea of just like, I don't know, the engineer's teleporter from pt.2. I think that's a very niche thing, very interesting. Talent number 2, Superior Flight. Jetpack Dash now only has one charge and has a cooldown of 15 seconds, but once activated, it provides him free flying for 12 seconds at an increased speed of his 20% of his base movement speed, so he moves faster while this is active. It just turns into a flying character. Talent number 3, Cosmic Mending Amplifier. CYA, the ultimate ability. The damage boost is reduced to 20%, but it now also applies a 30% healing boost to allies. So so any allies that are affected, they have a 30% healing boost received. They heal more. I feel like I feel like a talent that completely changes his ultimate to be centered around healing would make sense. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. Still, well, also, like, obviously, like I think it just makes sense. Also, still having the utility of the damage boost, albeit not as much. And that is it. I've gone through pretty much all of the ideas I have written down for the support characters. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing this again because like I said, I don't know too many about the other characters. I might try to think of something. Like, I'm pretty sure I can probably think of something stupid for Spider-Man. I don't know. You can stick to. I don't know. You can like web allies and probably kill. If you didn't make it this far into the video, genuinely thank you. I'm always appreciative of anyone who watches my videos, let alone go the entire way through the video. I know some of my videos can be just a little dragging. I understand that, and that's fine. If you like it, you like it. If you didn't, you didn't. I just want to like people to be able to enjoy my content. So thank you if you watched the whole way through. And like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do this again. I would like to do this more, but I'm also just gonna like focus on like gameplay stuff with my friends and such or whatever. So if you like it, you like it. Thank you for watching. Bye.